Hey guys, this is Sarah Zastro from Cultivate Balance, where we help you to manage stress, have less pain, and live a more joyful life. As we're heading into week 3 of our social distancing kind of quarantine here, today we're going to talk about how to break out of the negativity and fear surrounded by COVID-19. So I was reading an interesting book and it was talking about confirmation bias. And what this is a tool that our brain uses to focus on information that we already believe is true. Okay, so I want you to think about this like the Facebook algorithm. So when we are scrolling Facebook, we're looking for things that we like. We like a video or we comment or we engage with that somehow. And the Facebook algorithm automatically searches other videos, other content in Facebook to send us next as we're scrolling down that feed, okay? So Facebook is looking to find more things that we already like, okay? So it's looking to confirm what we already like. And this is brilliant, okay, on the people who make decisions at Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg is an expert at this, which is why scrolling on Facebook is so addicting. And whether you think that's true or not, there's a ton of science that goes into this, okay? It's all about our brain, and that as we're scrolling, if we find things that we already believe are true, that we already like, that we already think are funny, it reinforces our brain to continue doing so. Okay, so that's how the Facebook algorithm works. We've all noticed that our news feed looks a lot different than our spouses or our friends because we prefer different things, and Facebook automatically feeds things that we already like, which is cool. That's awesome thing about it. Our brain does the same thing, okay? So our brain, as we're searching for things, as we like things, as we find joy in certain things, our brain automatically searches for things that will help us to find joy, find peace, all those things. Okay, now unfortunately, the reverse is true. So if we don't like things, if we find things that are fearful, that cause us anxiety, that cause us stress, our brain searches for those things as well. So our brain searches for things to reinforce what we already believe is true. Okay, I'm going to say that again because it's kind of interesting. Our brain searches for things to reinforce what we already believe is true. So I'll give you an example. If you believe that COVID-19 is going to, we'll talk in extremes today because I think it makes more sense. If you believe that COVID-19 is going to result in economic downturn and a recession with the US economy, your brain will automatically search for things that confirm what you believe, okay? So normally, if I'm scrolling and I don't think that, I'll scroll right past that article, or I won't find that in the newspaper or in the news. But if I believe that, then my brain will filter out those things to reinforce that I think we're going to go into recession as a result of COVID-19. If I think that as a result of COVID-19, everything's going to be shut down for another, 2 months, my brain is going to automatically find things that reiterate that belief. Okay. Now, this is cool in some cases if it works for it to benefit us. However, if it works to cause us anxiety and cause us stress and cause us to fear the future, then it's not good, okay? So this is an innate process that happens in our brain no matter what. Today, what I'm going to teach you to do are 5 steps to stop that process, okay? Because a lot of people, myself included some days, are filled with fear and anxiety and stress as a result of COVID-19. And there's a way that you can sort of trick yourself to finding the good things, finding the peace, finding the positive. So how do we actually do that? And you'll notice some days it's easier than others. Some hours it's easier than others. For example, I know that some people do pretty well in the morning, and then by the time afternoon hits, by the time their stress level rises, by the time they're working on that Common Core math, everything goes to hell in a handbasket, right? So what are we gonna do to trick our mind to search for the positive things? This is all about psychology, so it's kind of interesting. So today we're gonna talk about 5 steps to break out of that negativity and fear so that you can focus on the joy, okay? So first off, you need to take about 10 deep breaths, okay? Everything that reiterates what we already believe on the negative end causes our body to release a little bit of adrenaline, okay, which causes our stress and our anxiety kind of cascade to start. And this begins as a cycle, okay? So every time we hear a piece of news, whether that's a text message or something on Facebook or something on the news or anything, even a thought that we have that reiterates that negative idea in our head, we get this rush of adrenaline, which causes us to have stress, which causes us this whole cascade. And then every time we hear another piece of information, that pathway in our brain is reinforced and the cycle continues. Okay, so what we first need to do to break that stress cycle is take several deep breaths. We're going to inhale and exhale about 10 or 20 times. Okay, what this does in essence is it uses up the extra adrenaline floating around in our body. So we need to use it up so that it doesn't trigger that stress cascade. So kind of interesting here, but doing deep breaths will really help you to calm down. You've probably noticed that. That's why they tell you if you're having a panic attack, deep breaths, right? It's really important. So start off with about 10 or 20 deep breaths until you feel a little bit more relaxed, and you'll feel your heart rate come down and your breathing and your blood pressure. And if you're having headaches as a result of the stress, this is really important. The next thing we're going to do, step number 2, is to actively search for good things in all 5 of our senses, okay? So, and I understand if you're trying to not eat everything in house and home as a result of this, I understand that. So just ignore the taste part. Maybe try some gum. That's what I've been doing. It works fairly well. So you're going to look for something that is positive to touch, okay? So I'm going to pull my blanket around me and just sit there and cuddle for just a minute. Find something good to taste. Remember, if you're trying to stay in a good eating, healthy, try gum. Something good to smell, so light a candle. Something good to look at, okay? So maybe you guys have seen all the hearts on the windows. Write hearts on your windows, or something to bring peace, to bring joy to your day. And then something good to listen to. So maybe that is your favorite song, a happy melody. Doesn't matter what it is. It cannot be the news, okay? Cannot be the news. So turn that right off. So 5 things, actively searching for 5 good things for each of our senses. Something you touch, something you taste, you smell, you see, and you hear. Okay, that's really important. So 5 good things there. Then we're going to look for 3 blessings that have come out of COVID-19. Now, just to be clear, I am not saying that COVID-19 is a blessing. What I'm saying is that if you can train your mind to search for the silver lining, even in the worst of situations, you're going to be a lot better off. Okay, so I'll give you my 3. Number 1, I've had a lot more time and my house has never been cleaner. Number 2, I have never spent this much time with my husband, and that's kind of awesome. Now, if you have kids, you can make this about your kids, same thing like that. And number 3, I really enjoy reading and kind of my time to myself to journal, and I've never actually been able to do that regularly. Okay, I kind of do the quick version, right? But I've really had time for some internal reflection, and that has been really good. Okay, so time, better relationships, and time to myself, which has been really nice. So time to get things done, time for myself. Those are really important. So find 3 blessings that have come out of COVID-19. Okay. And then you're going to fill your home with joy. Okay. So what that means is that you make a pillow fort in the living room and you leave it up because nobody's coming over and you don't have to go anywhere. Do something fun to fill your house with joy. Maybe you blow up some balloons, or you put those hearts on your window, or you light a nice candle, or I redecorated so that my books make a rainbow. It's just absolutely beautiful. And it's just a simple way to bring joy into your home. Now with that, it's important to push things that don't bring you joy out of your phone. That Marie Kondo method, does it bring you joy or no? So one thing to push out is the news. Negative media of any kind. Okay, so anybody talking about conspiracy theories, talking about any crap related to this, shut it off. It's not important, it's not helpful, and it's causing you stress. So tune it out. You can snooze those people, snooze them for 30 days on your Facebook feed. You can turn off the news, turn off the TV, you can turn off the radio. Fill your home with positivity and joy. This has to be a conscious effort, because if you are swimming in fear right now, our body, remember that confirmation bias, our body searches for ways to reinforce what we already know. So your body is going to want to turn on the news. It's going to want to scroll that Facebook feed, seeing all the negativity. Break that cycle, stop that confirmation bias, and actively fill your home with joy. Number 5, to fill your phone with joy. So this is a little bit different. Same thing, we talked a little bit about the scrolling on Facebook. I have 2 tips for you here. Number 1 is that if your Facebook is full of negativity, I, just like the next guy, scroll my phone incessantly. It's horrible. It's a bad habit. But you know what? Now's not a great time to, uproot my life and change my social media habits, because I cannot emotionally handle that. I don't have that bandwidth, right? So what I am going to do though is fill my newsfeed with positive things. So I'm going to search in my search bar 10 positive things. So one thing that I really enjoy doing that's really fun is looking at video clips from SNL, from Jimmy Fallon, from Jimmy Kimmel, from the Kelly Clarkson show, from fun shows like that have really fun video clips. So I'm going to search those in my Facebook search bar, because then those things will come up on my Facebook feed. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to do is search hashtag positive things. So something like a dance party. Okay. They've had all those videos where the neighborhoods are dancing like at 11 o'clock every day. I want those things in my news feed, not that crazy kid from high school talking about how all this is a conspiracy, right? I want to fill my news feed with joy. The other thing is that I know if I'm just going to scroll, if it's the end of the day and I just need some time to decompress, I'm going to scroll on Pinterest instead of Facebook or Instagram. The reason being is that Pinterest brings joy to me, brings joy to my heart, makes me feel happy, makes me feel peace, gives me inspiration for crafts to do and fun things to do and books to read and scriptures to fill my brain with happy, peaceful, and hopeful messages, not other negative things. And then the last thing I did, and this is really cool, and I made a bunch of these for you guys, so if you want them, let me know, is I made a bunch of lock screens on your phone. When you unlock your phone, the first thing that comes up is called a lock screen. I made a bunch of them that have to do with finding peace and joy during this time. So what I'm gonna do is put those on Google Drive, and then I will invite you guys to like those. So what you have to do is send me your email address, I'll send you an invitation, and then you can download all of them. So they're so cool, they're so cute, and it just helps you to remind yourself to bring peace and joy every single time you open your phone. Okay, every single time you pick up your phone, you'll see it, and it helps to rewire that brain. Like we said, we're working on changing that confirmation bias to confirming peace and joy during this time, not fear and anxiety from COVID-19. Okay, I know this was a long video. You guys are gonna love these lock screens. I made them, they're so stinking cute. So what you're gonna do is send me your email address. I will invite you to view the Google Doc. It's super easy, then you download it. The reason I'm doing it that way is because they have to be super high resolution to be on your phone and just show up clearly. So hope that makes sense. Send me those if you're interested. One says find peace and joy. One says sunshine and happiness. One says bring in peace and joy, push out fear and anger. There's all different ones. They're so cute. I hope you guys like them. Send me your email addresses and I will send them right to you. You guys have a wonderful day. I hope you have a good one. We'll see you next week.